Those familiar with the 70cm band plan or who have recently passed their foundation exam will know that radio amateurs are not allowed to transmit anywhere between 431 and 432 MHz within a 100km radius of Charing Cross in London. And outside of that radius, an ERP limit applies for all licence levels. This prevents the use of a beam antenna outside the zone beaming in more than 10 watts. This question comes up from time to time on forums and message boards, so I thought I'd clear it up. London is home to government organisations such as MI5 at Thames House, MI6, the British Secret Intelligence Service in Vauxhall, and many foreign embassies, many of which still have large antenna arrays on their rooftops. This may lead you to believe that the exclusion zone is related to clandestine radio communications. It brings to mind secret agents operating amongst the general public in London, some sort of secret government operation around Charing Cross, or more modern variants of the famous and eerie number stations. You see, the 70cm band's primary user is the Ministry of Defence, so it makes sense that the exclusion zone was something to do with clandestine and cloak and dagger communications. If the primary user is the UK MOD and amateur radio operators are the secondary user, that means we can't interfere with the primary user. I've often seen people ask, so why don't the military want us chatting on 431 to 432 MHz in and around London? Well, the answer is very simple and far less exciting. If you were to tune your scanner between 431 and 432 MHz in London, you're not likely to hear any Ministry of Defence communications. The main user of the 70cm band was MOLD, a civil defence radio system which we'll cover another time, and there has never been much in the way of MOD transmission on there, as while they are the band's primary user, 70cm isn't the MOD's primary band. What you will hear are things like couriers, security, taxis, and maybe the local council, because the exclusion zone isn't really anything secret or hush-hush at all. It's in place because of the high number of PMR users within the London area and just beyond, and it just so happens that the input frequencies for these PMR repeaters lie 17 MHz below the output frequencies in 431 MHz. And that's really all there is to it. Part of the 70cm band was allocated by Ofcom in order to relieve the pressure within the UHF PMR band within the London area, and frequency listings will usually mention the fact that these channel allocations are for London only. So there you go, that's the real reason behind the 100km Charing Cross radio exclusion zone. Much less glamorous than you're probably thinking, but hopefully still interesting enough to answer a question that's been floating around online for many years.